Hello winners, I'm going to show you the one thing that changed my trading career forever. I am going to show you my entire Forex strategy. So, if you're here to learn, stay tuned. If you're here to listen about Lamborghinis, nice watches, or airplanes, well, this video might not be for you. My trading strategy is as simple as it is complex. I follow the trend, and when the trend is not with me, I use reversal patterns, and I use double tops or double bottoms in combination with pivot points. And in addition, the best part is we're going to go through live entries on my live account to see how my strategy really works. What I want you to have as a takeaway from this video is that you should be able to create your own strategy and test the strategy and write it down, or have a very clear vision and mind of what it really is. A small disclaimer is my results from my strategy is only representative to me. It might be different from you because I have been working on this strategy for many years. I have been training it for many years, so I know it ins and outs, and I know its variances. And if you want to listen to my strategy, well, hit the like button and subscribe, because this is going to be awesome. Let's start talking about my winning strategy. First of all, you need to have a plan. Point 1. Point 2. You need to know which currency you're going to trade. You need to know when you're going to trade it, how you're going to trade it, why you're going to trade it, and your profit targets, your stop loss, and your entry before you even enter the market. So you should have a plan before you come to the table, before you open up your computer. You should know what kind of pattern, what do you want to see, and if you don't get it, leave it alone. So I only trade yen pairs. That is Aussie yen, CAD yen, Euro yen, Pound yen, and New Zealand yen. I don't trade USD yen or Swiss yen. Alternatively is USD pairs, or alternative 3 is then Swissy pairs. What is very important for your strategy is the research. For technical analysis, you need to have done your research from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years in advance. So what does it normally do around 1st of April, 1st of May, and 1st of June? So now we can plan into the future, because people have said it to me, most of my strategy and most of what I'm talking about is the future. So you need to do the research about the future. Okay? You need to have a bias. That bias comes from that research and also how the world is doing right now. Are we doing well? Are we doing poorly? Are we doing just in the middle? That determines if you should be buyer or seller of your currency. It doesn't need to be right. You just have to be one-sided and waiting for your chance. And once you get your chance, you're ready, willing, and able. Okay? Awesome. Which market conditions am I trading in? I trade bullish setups in a bullish trend. When price is going higher and I'm a buyer, I'm looking for any reversals to go higher. You know, buy low as it go higher. Important. When I'm a seller, I sell when only the trend is bearish, or when there's a reversal and it's likely to head lower. Then I use double tops to go down and double bottoms to go higher. Then I use sometimes retracements of Fibots at between 38 and 61. Well, that's just the confluence, because when I trade, it's support and resistance, It's price action, it's pivot points, and it's pivots. So it's like 4 strategies in one strategy. Okay? Awesome. You need to have dream trades. You should have somewhere above you, on your chart, on your computer somewhere, a chart of your dream trade. You need to list down the reason of why this is a dream trade. Some of the hints should be the entry, the price action, the level, the support and resistance, the target, the stop loss, and the emotion you felt when you entered and exited trade. And the emotion should be there. Nothing else than just plain like that. So, important. First of the month is very important. Not only as an entry, but also it can be pushed up to sell from first. So if there's a downtrend and the price goes up the last 3 days, it's likely then to sell on first of whatever it is. First, you need to do a lot of research around first of the month, give or take. 31st, 1st, 2nd, give or take. A trend would last for 3 to 4 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. 2, if it lasts for 2 weeks, 1 week it will rise, 4th week it will fall. If it lasts for 3 weeks, the last week it will be quite a powerful pullback. If it lasts for 4 weeks, let it go. Like either trend with it, follow the trend with it, and let it go until it's done, or you wait for a reversal pattern if you are on the opposite side, and you might have to wait for quite some time, because once it passes the 4 weeks, it can continue until it no longer continues. You should have confidence in your trading style, strategy, trade plan. Kind of the same thing, but you have to have confidence. As of I know myself that if I will make a loss today, I will have profits for the future. I don't trade to be afraid of losing a trade, because I know I will get profits next month, next week, next day. Doesn't matter to me. I know in the future at some point I will get something. Okay? I also know that by the end of the year, I will have more profits than I would have losses. So for me, if I make a loss now, doesn't matter to me. Why do I have confidence in my strategy? I take the same trades every single time, or look for some of the same trades every single time. So if I'm consistent, I get consistent profits. Your time will come when the trend is against you, even if it is strong at the very moment. My secret is my experience, my pivot points, my confidence, knowing when you are wrong. Not when you're right, knowing when you're wrong, so you can take your stop loss easy, fast, and right there. Okay, let's go into some examples in my live account. Let's start with some examples. As you can see, you cannot see me, but you can hear me. That's for us to all see the same screen. So we have this $50 account, which I have a trade. I trade not so much on this one. I have another one, but I have some entries here as well. So I can show you very fair and very square. This is what I see. This is the pivot points, okay? Just a very fast introduction. This between M3, between this red line and this gray line, that's the sell zone. In that area, I'm looking to sell. Between the central pivot and the M2, I'm looking for any buy setups. When am I a buyer? And then we have M1 and this big green area. This is the target for these sellers. And then for buyers, the target is the pink area. Okay? And it would have been 1343. Okay, so first of all, I want my entries to be at resistance if I'm selling. Okay, what could make resistance? Resistance could be made because profit target for the opposites. So if I'm selling, I want buyers to take profit. Okay, so here at around 13th of December, they hit target barely. Then they went lower, and then they went up to make a new high again, retest this high, and really get out of their trades. Now, this is 4 hour. So on the 1 hour, you would see a much more of a reversal pattern. Double tops, new low, lower high, new low. I'm not saying that that's a perfect entry, but it's an entry at 112.039. This is my actual trade on this account. I did differently on a different account, but still, I still sold up in here. And the ultimate target would have been 109.89. So I see this. I can now go for May at the end of April. I know what kind of prices we will have for May before May starts. Okay? And the reason why I exited this trade, I believe, was this very strong pullback. And then it's just a small account, so I have a higher risk. I think that's when I went back to break even, and I saw that it's kind of made a double bottom at support, and it was somewhere down here as well. There was a buy area for the week. This is monthly pivots, if I haven't said it already. So I apparently exited. I wouldn't say that's the most perfect exit I've ever seen, but it's definitely what has happened. And then later on, we just moved on, until it barely, without, just, how much is it? Surely. Well, the last candle there is not more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 pips difference from the actual price. 3 pips. Oh, okay. So that's, I already know this is where they take profit. I know that this is my sell price before it becomes the sell price. I know that I need my reversal pattern in this area before I can sell. I can even have sold this one. Then a new low, then a sell here, then a new low, then a sell here. And then your target here is actually 108.70. Once it doesn't go up to M3, but it just never touches even the central pivot, that's very strong move down. And along the line, I in here have changed direction. I thought that February was going up. We were having positive news coming out. I changed my original bias, but we went lower. So I then in the end waited this whole move for this one. This was a weekly trade, and well, I don't know how much it is. It really, it's some profits in there as well. So I think it's like $5 or something. So yeah. For me, that's what I want to show you, okay? This is a reversal on the 1 hour. This is a reversal on the 4 hour, but still playing the same play again, and again. Let's see, do I have more entries here? I have a sell here, which I apparently got afraid of. I sold here, and I think I was too early. I think that was the reason why. I would love to come up here again before selling it again. And then I have an entry from last week, which is this new low again, this pullback to this one, and then in and out, before it broke out. and then take profit down here. For me, I would love to have stayed in this one. I think that I'm more conscious of this account more than all the other accounts because I'm going back to basics. I haven't been down to $50 for many years. And I think those three examples both show us losses, profits, but also how I would do it. Then I have an Aussie trade I want to show you. That's also from the same January. Even more extended than the EUR/USD trade, but still the same. Here we have the take profit target for the month for buyers. Here we have new lows, pullback, entry again. I don't remember if I just saw it out of the blue or what happened, but that's that. Also in this period, I believe there is, in the weekly, that's the target for the week. So I just played the weekly trade here, even though a re-entry at the central would have taken me down all the way down here. But this is not an account that I trade every day, but it still shows the same trades again, again, and again, and again. Do I have any losses to show you? I always have losses to show you. Pound dollar, £2 somewhere. Okay, so it seems to be here. So the pound trade that I lost $2 on, I sold this new low here. It went higher, and then eventually didn't bear any fruits. That's also in January. It also seems like I lost the initial entry up here, but I think because of this great move here, I wasn't too keen on it before it kind of stabilized again. And now I saw this new downtrend, sold at resistance, didn't bear fruits. More losses for you. EUR/USD. This is where I can show you. Okay, fine. Terrible entry, terrible trade, and entry should have been down here, but apparently not everyone is perfect always, and that's that. How do I then make profit? I need to be prepared every week, every month, every day for a reversal pattern or a pullback. I also need to understand where and when price is most likely to head anytime in the future. So, for example, here I know that once it makes a new high, makes a pullback down to support, I am more often than not likely to be profitable. Once that has happened after or in or where a target for sellers is supposed to be, I am at a better position. I'm even in a better position if it is at support. And once price goes in my direction, I know that if I enter at the pullback, I know that more times than not, I'm able to gain profits from it. I also know that price in the future can change. Reversal pattern can happen at the target or above the target. But once we reach the target for the month, I am hands off. I don't know what's going to happen anymore. It can continue, it can stop, or it can fall again. So then the Pandora's box open up. Okay? So for me, I am willing, able, and ready when that happens, when I'm a buyer. I am ready, willing, and able when you can't see that, can you? I'm ready, willing, and able when I see that happening. Okay, so this I would say is a trend following. This is a reversal pattern. And when you do that, when you know that you're ready in the sell area, you are ready in the sell area every month when you're a seller, you are profitable, okay? Sell area, when you're supposed to be a seller, sell off. When you're a sell area, sell off. When you're in the sell area, no entry. When you're in the sell area, didn't happen, but it sold off. For me, that's also an importance. Like it's in the sell area before the close of the month. That means there is something called front run. This is the front run of this sell area for the next week. I was supposed to show you pound busy. So I said when target is hit early, you have a pullback. So the move down was from up here down here. This is 215 pips, and the pullback was almost 200 pips. Okay, so almost back to entry. I know that once that happens so early as it's Tuesday, this is likely to happen. Then pound yen didn't. I was expecting that in the same manner, but not as much happened. We have just consolidated ever since. So you have this fall from the sell area down to take profit, and now we have just moved sideways. On my account, I have an entry up here. That was a sell limit. I was, at 67-ish. What is it? Yeah, it's just at the top here, 67. 133, 67, 19. So it's just there, just at the top. Then I know from next week we need a new sell zone to sell next week. Okay? But I also know that there might be a pullback next week to sell again from May. So the Pandora's box for me and the possibilities of what is going to happen next week has opened up. We are only here to see what will happen. We will make trade plans as that happens. So this one, pound dollar, didn't come up to the sell zone, but sold off, hit target on Tuesday, and then consolidated after onto the pip of that first move and second move down to the aggressive one every day of the week. Okay? Might not have been a pretty reversal, but it's a reversal. Now that you are down here early, you take profit. That eliminates all this other noise happening later on. I would also advocate for, if you are a seller, this should have been your entry. Why is that your entry? Because it's at support, turning resistance. Okay. As we now have gone through the live account, I just want to show you my dream trade. As we started talking about at the beginning, you need a dream trade. I am going to show you right now my dream trade. So that's a trade from 17th of August 2018 or 19, I'm not sure, where I anticipated a double bottom or a bottom around 15th of August. I got a new high, I got a pullback, and then I waited to take profit until the high of September. I could have maybe waited a bit longer for it to reach all the way up to the target of the month, but all in all, a very good trade. And then after that, it tilted down, and that was that. So that trade is around, I think it's around 500 pips, but it's my first big trade. It's my first patience trade because it takes over a month to get to this one, and it was one of my bigger ones. So And then after that, I just started to catch more and more bigger ones. So for me, that was really a breakthrough, and the emotions I was feeling, the entry, the target, everything to me just fits perfectly. So it's like a skier or a footballer where you just see an amazing performance, taking everything left and right, everything is clear, everything, there is no doubt, there's nothing, there's just pure. That's what my dream trade really is. I find it very pure. I have also said something about a trade plan, that you should be able to write a trade plan by the end of this video. So I am showing you what you should have as your trade plan. You should have, first of all, time frame. Then you need to have a currency and a currency pair. Then you need a bias, and those are quite easy to say or write down. It's just blah, 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 straight. But market conditions, you need to be very specific. You need to be very, at least mentally, very specific and know where, how you want to do it. Here I normally support with a dream trade pattern or the exact market condition I want to see ahead. So I want to have a what do you call it, a photo there that shows what it would normally look like, so I know I can identify very quickly, is this happened before, like that. And then yeah, emotions, what did you feel at entry and exit, entry reasons. It's a bit different from market condition because entry reasons is the exact reasons, but you want to have market conditions with you at all also. And then you have TP and entry and SL, which is, it varies from every time. So that's what I would have as my trading strategy. And then for my journal, and other tips here is that I would go to my MT4, I would drag that trade into MT4, so it shows, as I showed you earlier, where there will be a line, will be an entry at the candle, at the close of the candle, so you can see visually, and you will also see and remember kind of where is it, and you can see the time and everything. That would give you all the information necessary for you to be journaling and understanding which trades you take. Okay, so you just need to just take a screenshot of that, put it into Google Docs, and you are off to the races. Okay, so I have given you quite a lot in this video. I have given you what I do, what my strategy really is. I use support and resistance, reversal, trend following, pivot points. I have a bias which is fundamental to my trading, which can be a flip of a coin, or you just follow the overall market sentiment, or you do your research, as I talked about earlier. You do your research, then for the past 5 years, what has it normally done in April, May, June, July, whatever it is, right? And now I'm giving you the dream trades of me that you should have posted on the wall, posted somewhere that you can see it often. Then I have given you a very easy way to make a trading plan, but also how to journal. Very easy, doesn't take a lot of time. If you do that every weekend, smash it. So thank you guys for joining in. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every one of you. This is my strategy. This is how I do it. And if you have any questions, please comment below and I will be happy to answer you. And yeah, don't risk money you can not afford to lose. And yeah, happy weekends.